you've praised Mohan Bhagwat ji in the past, and of course, you've called him an open-minded organizer who's open to a lot of reforms. And at the core of his ideas is liberalism, right? Very liberal and reformative ideas is what he represents. Now, this seems to be true because even the staunch critics of the Sangh seem to agree with a lot of things that Bhagwat ji has to say. So, can you tell us more about this evolution and why we are only presented with this version recently, and how the Sangh actually manages to be progressive from time to time, from generation to generation?
RSS is an organization built ground up. There is a two-way communication. The pracharaks, the office bearers, the leaders, they talk to cadre. The cadre is open to talk to anybody, right from RSS chief to the local person. So feedback comes from the ground. All the pracharaks are moving on the ground. None of them sits in the office or only talks to somebody. All of them work on the field. So they have very great intelligence on the ground. They understand how the people feel, what is the people's requirement. All this, as the society changes, is also reflected in RSS way of working. And as RSS grew from one shakha with 12, 13 teenagers, it went on growing and new experiments were done, new ideas were brought in. There was only evening shakha for young boys, then old people started coming. They didn't have time in the day, so night shakha started for traders, morning shakha started for people who went to service, etc. Then there was songs added, then there was, sayings were added. Games were fine-tuned, the program for 1 hour or so well fine-tuned. Even they were changed from time to time. So all these things continuously went on and on with each satsang chalak as the time changed. New ideas were brought in, new arena was added. There was daily shaka, then weekly shaka came up, monthly get-togethers came up. So these changes, which look very small, but if you look at the overall view, how things change. Actually, my book, The RSS Evolution from Organization to Movement, is where I try to explain how various point of time things have changed. So from a organization strictly cadre-based, simply a highly organized, disciplined force of young people, how it evolved into a multifaceted organizations with hundreds of organizations coming out of it. Because famously, when Hedgewarji told a journalist that RSS will do nothing, but Swayamsevak will do everything, that was the idea. So there are now 33 All India organizations working in sometimes complementary, sometimes mutually exclusive, sometimes against each other kind of issues like Laghu Udyog Bharati and Mazdoor Sangh, or Itihas Sankalan Samiti and BJP, etc. So there are so many facets where different members of RSS work in different areas with their own thinking. But the idea of consensus, which is the key to success of RSS, where every decision is taken by consensus, that to build consensus, to take a decision after taking everybody's way in and everybody agreeing to an idea, only then the decision is taken. This is the secret why RSS has survived nearly 100 years and thrived, and everybody wants to start a new organization is free to start a new organization. Where RSS can help, it helps. Where it cannot help, the person can work on his or her own. So this approach to complete freedom to start new projects, freedom to start new experiments in Shakha, depending on the locality, depending on the area, and then expanding into various places. So, in fact, there is a chapter in my book which I talked about this evolution of RSS, where I have a whole chapter to expanding scope of Hindutva. So even the Hindutva originally defined by Savarkarji, and then as interpreted and used by Dr. Hedgewar, and what he was told by Dr. Munje earlier about Hindu Rashtriya, etc. All these things over a period of time changed, how it became more and more collaborative. What Mohanji said today about DNA being same, and they have to realize their forefathers are same and their blood is same, they share the common history. This has been said right from the second Satsang Chakra himself, and saying that they have only to realize that they are from the same land. 99.9% of the Muslims are born in Bharat. Their forefathers are Hindus. So once they realize that they are part of the same country, the problems will get solved. They can have a different way of worship, that's all. And when some people criticize the DNA remark, they must realize when they tell us that Pandav and Kauravas had the same DNA, that exactly is the point. That's what Krishna also told, that we have the same DNA, you are all brothers, so you should not fight. But if fight occurs, then Mahabharata happens. So to take the half statement that is only talking of DNA. DNA is same, you cannot deny. At the same time, if the people who want to come with Hindu society in the mainstream, they realize that their history is same as ours and they are the same people as us, then they will come to this to the mainstream fold. Those who wish to remain as Kauravas, they are free to remain, and there is a Mahabharat, and result is better for everybody. Entire civilization is annihilated.
Right.
So Hindus are not afraid of their strength. They have strength now. They are united. They are into a renaissance phase. So it is an invitation to well-meaning people who want to join the mainstream, and those who don't want to. For example, Owaisi said that he will call Ayodhya. Faizabad will not get Ayodhya. These are the people. From them it doesn't matter. For them, they identify Tabar not with the local history from where they were born. It's a misfortune of those people, and they will suffer for that. Electorally isolated, whatever it is. So a strong Hindu society is the answer to these questions. And that is only when people realize that coming together is beneficial for all. That is what Mohanji has said, not only in this context, he's also much more open to media. It is much more open to exchanging ideas, much more open to new experiments. For example, survey of lakhs of Swayamsevaks to decide what they want to do and then train them is entirely new idea. Survey of women and then releasing a complete study and saying that this is how development should be, tuned to the women's expectation, again is a totally new idea. And this idea has not been adopted from anybody. It's purely Sangha idea done by Sangha people as per their own evolution of ideas.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.